The Yankees almost broke the internet this past weekend with their newly designed torpedo-style bats. As you can see in the image here, the bats essentially move some of the wood lower down the barrel, putting more mass in the area that actually strikes the ball. The Yankees front office worked with manufacturers to design these bats after the team's analytics department realized some players were routinely making contact lower down the barrel. So, rather than attempting to redesign a player's entire swing, the designers simply shifted more wood towards the label. This allows hitters to wait just a split second longer on pitches, while also increasing power and consistency through mass. It also allows players to swing a little bit harder because more of the weight is closer to their hands. Now, the end of the bat looks like a bowling pin, but that's not why they went viral. The bats went viral because the Yankees hit a franchise record 9 home runs on Saturday against the Brewers. The game started with 3 home runs on 3 straight pitches off former teammate Nestor Cortez, ending with a final score of 20-9. And by the end of the series, the Yankees hit 15 home runs and scored a whopping 36 total runs in just 3 games versus Milwaukee. The Yankees' torpedo bats have left baseball fans divided. Some fans love seeing more home runs, while others think torpedo bats are a blatant form of cheating. Just ask Barstool Sports founder and Boston Red Sox superfan Dave Portnoy.
They did this because Anthony Volpe sucks, and he kept getting jammed and sawed off, and we're like, how do we make him not suck? Let's just make this bat called a torpedo bat, where basically you swing and you make contact on the handle, gets sawed off, it's a home run. So the Yankees have hit, I think, 13 home runs. Jazz Chisholm, or whatever that guy, he's got 13 home runs. Aaron Judge is hitting home runs. He's saying he's not using a torpedo bat. He is. Take a look. All the teams are going to use it. Should it be legal? No. Is it cheating? Yeah, it is.
Now, many people have speculated that MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred will soon ban these bats because they aren't legal, but the rules are actually pretty clear on this. According to Rule 3.02, bats must be made from one solid piece of wood. They can be no more than 2.61 inches in diameter at their thickest part, and they cannot exceed 42 inches in length. There are also some rules around how far grip-enhancing substances can extend beyond the handle, and all experimental bats, essentially anything that doesn't look like a regular bat, must be approved by MLB's league office before use. This is only part of the story though. You can read about MLB's rulebook or why the Yankees created a new bat anywhere. Instead, the more interesting part of this story involves dozens of PhD-level data scientists, biomechanics analysts, and machine learning experts constantly searching for a competitive advantage through analytics. Now, it's no secret that analytics have taken over baseball. Teams like the Yankees and Dodgers spend millions annually on the most advanced technology, and Steve Cohen has increased the Mets' analytics staff from 6 employees to 35 since buying the team. Almost every MLB team now has an analytics staff of 20+ people. These employees provide players with detailed reports before each series, breaking down pitching matchups and defensive assignments. But similar to an investment banker putting together a deck, that's only part of the job. The real work is much more complex. And no, the idea for torpedo-style bats didn't come from George Costanza.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity v in relation to the trajectory t, in which g, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
While the torpedo bat does sound like a made-up idea from an episode of Seinfeld, the real-life idea came from a man named Aaron Lienhardt. The players call him Lenny, but he has one of the most interesting stories in baseball. After earning a PhD in physics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and a Nobel Prize for being part of a NASA-funded research team that achieved the lowest recorded temperature by cooling sodium gas, Lienhardt left academics to chase his passion for baseball. So, how does a Nobel Prize-winning MIT physicist end up in baseball? Well, in 2017, Lienhardt was working as an assistant coach in the Atlantic Collegiate Baseball League in New Jersey, and served as a hitting coach and recruiting coordinator at Dawson Community College in Montana. The Yankees then hired Lienhardt in 2018. He spent a few years as a hitting coach for various minor league affiliates before moving to the big league club. Then Lienhardt got his big break. A literal big break in the form of 6'7" Yankees captain Aaron Judge. After Judge called for a reevaluation of the Yankees analytics department, manager Aaron Boone promoted Lienhardt to lead the entire department. Lienhardt's job description reads like an encyclopedia, but the easiest way to explain it is that he 1. Leads a team of employees who are tasked with optimizing performance through data, and 2. He then translates that data into a digestible format for the players. Lienhart ended up getting poached by the Miami Marlins after last season ended, but he is actually the one who came up with the idea for the torpedo-style bat. Here is ESPN's Jeff Passan explaining the basic thought process behind Lienhart's torpedo bat design.
I talked to Aaron Leonard yesterday, and he put it to me like this. Imagine every bat has a wood budget. If you're going to be spending that wood budget, where do you want the majority of it to be? You want it to be in the place where when you swing, it strikes the bat the most. And that's about 6 to 7 inches down from the end of the bat. And the problem is, if you're going to be putting more of the weight and more of the mass there, where do you take it from? Well, there are minimum standards for the size of a handle just because of safety. It has to be at least 0.81 inches. And there's a maximum barrel size, which is 2.61 inches. But if you're going to be reaching that maximum size for more of the actual sweet spot of the bat, where do you take it from? And the answer, it turns out, is the end.
Now, even though the New York Yankees are the poster child for the torpedo bat, in reality, only a few Yankees players are actually using the bat on game day, including Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm Jr., and Cody Bellinger. And the home run numbers on Saturday are slightly misleading because of the temperature and wind, combined with the size of Yankee Stadium. But with that said, the new bat design is just the tip of the analytical iceberg. Every MLB team is now tracking things like exit velocity and launch angle to increase home runs. They analyze a pitcher's spin rate as well as vertical and horizontal movement to measure effectiveness. And in-game managerial decisions are exclusively data-driven today. However, teams like the Yankees and Dodgers take it a step further. They have data scientists and engineers building predictive models. Their biomechanic analysts use motion capture and force-placed data to assess a player's mechanics. Machine learning experts can forecast injuries and project player performance, and a team of tactical analysts help the coaching staff build game models for matchups and bullpen usage. Ultimately, the analytics department drives much of what you see on the baseball diamond. The Yankees, for instance, use TrackMan and Rapsodo technology to measure a pitcher's spin axis, horizontal and vertical break, velocity bands, and much more. They prefer pitchers with elite spin rates like Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt, and they spend a lot of time on tunneling, the idea that two different pitches should look identical at release to confuse a hitter. And the Dodgers are right up there with the Bronx Bombers. The defending World Series champions preserve pitchers by effectively managing the workload throughout the season. They often employ dynamic shifting, meaning they adjust position based on the pitch being thrown, not just the hitter at the plate. The Dodgers also frequently turn overlooked players into key contributors based on internal projection, and their 3D motion capture centers optimize a player's swing path at every level of the zone. The examples can go on and on. Advanced analytics have impacted nearly every aspect of professional baseball today. One year, pitchers might have the advantage due to increased spin rate and velocity. Then, the following year, hitters are putting up record numbers due to more efficient swing paths, better launch angles, and increased plate discipline. This problem goes far beyond baseball, though. Everyone knows about the three-point revolution in basketball, and virtually every sports league is now thinking about or already implementing rules to negate some of the advantages derived from analytics. The NFL has largely been immune to these issues because the game is more complex than two-pointers versus three-pointers. However, the larger concern is that analytics could effectively solve a sport, making it so efficient that every game ends up looking the same. The NBA is basically at that point already, and MLB is not far behind. Maybe that's okay for a nerd like me, but I would be concerned if I were a league commissioner. The imperfection and uncertainty in live sports are exactly what makes them so valuable in the first place.